Good morning, everybody. Natalie coming to you live, Spirit and Coffee. Got my coffee. Cheers, salud. Hope you got yours. Hydrate. Again, I have my protein. I hydrated this morning, though. Throughout the day, make sure you're drinking tons of water. Good morning, Kim. How are you? Good morning, Laurel. Hi, Kim. I haven't seen you in a while. I totally miss you. So we're going to dive right in. As I've been telling people, wake up, wake up, wake up. Okay. You're in a dream. You're in the matrix. And it is time for us to get to work in terms of using the, all the concepts that I've talked about in the past. Good morning, Brittany. And putting them to work. Hope you're doing well, Brittany. It's been a while. Love your pictures. Keep doing great work. You're just a beautiful, beautiful woman. Good morning, Patricia. Good morning, Inez. I haven't seen you in a while as well. So I guess the people are starting to show up. But now is the time to get busy doing your practices. And really, really, really leading yourself to what I call your birthright, right? What your divine purpose, why you are here. Good morning, Dan. If you want to meet up later to so I get those packets, that's cool. Let's do that. And so you guys have the power within you. So it's finding out what your divine purpose is. Now, I've done tons of videos to support you through the process, to try, or at least put you on the path to finding out what that is for you, okay? Now, in part of that is letting go, okay? Letting go of certain things. And that's kind of difficult at times. Because what happens during the process, good morning, Abraham, is that as we transition, as we transform, good morning, Doreen. Okay, thank you, Dan, I appreciate it. As we transition, things we'll have to let go of things, but new things will arise in our space, okay? Good morning, Jennifer. And as we let go, okay, as we let go, and as these things come in, we have the opportunity to assess, is it energy that I choose to take on or energy that I don't choose to take on in terms of people, location. And I will say this, I'm an energy filler. Good morning, Chris. As an energy filler, I'll go to places and I'll ask, is this serving my energy or is it taking from my energy? Good morning, Mohammed. Oh, how exams, are they over? So good morning, Daniel. And is the energy being drained from me? So if you looked at other individuals as these microcosmic, stellar, interstellar, universal, beings, right? If you saw them as universes approaching you, right? As our universes approaches other universes, okay, I'm giving you guys some hints here. We ask ourselves, is it going to devour our energy? Is it chaotic? What's that energy going to bring to my field? So if you saw yourself as this field, right, of light, right? And if the energy is penetrating your field, okay, because a new energy will come in. So a person, and I'm talking about people, right? People in our life, animals, anything that's within our space, okay? If it comes within our energy field and it penetrates, you can ask yourself, is this energy serving me or not serving me? Okay. Good morning, Henry. Now, if it's serving you, you can say, okay, what am I supposed to do with this energy so that I can create something? Okay. We talk about manifestation, talking about how do we take something, create something valuable out of it. Okay. Taking that from here and moving it out. Okay. And the same is true when we're in the space of other people. How do we co-create? How are we perpetuating something meaningful, something that we can actually utilize in this space, okay? Which is true alchemy. It's true spiritual alchemy when you're in total creation. Now, part of that transmutation or the change or the transformation that happens chemically. So if you think about a pot of soup and you put a bunch of vegetables in them, and you're cooking them, right? It takes time to process. But once they all cook together, you have this beautiful soup that you can eat, and all the flavors blend together. So you can see yourself and the people in your space or mandala. You can do a mandala energy field exercise to see who's in your space. How are they adding to the stew? Okay. So I'm going to just put it in stew because food sounds really good right now. And so is the stew chicken stew soup, or is it beef stew? Or what is it that kind of soup you're trying to create? So you've got to look at that and ask yourself, in this pot of people or energies that are within my space, are they serving that stew? Okay. Or are they going to add to that stew? Or is it going to be, what if you added something bitter? Do you want to add bitter to your stew? Okay. You might say, no, I don't want the bitter. So you say, okay, I love this. And you can love your people. It's not about not loving them or making them wrong for who they are. It's about, that's not the ingredient right now that's going to make this stew taste good. Okay, I hope I'm making sense. Okay, I don't know how we got on stew or soup, but there you go. Just speaking from, okay. So that's a way to look at it, right? Is this soup, am I making the soup that I want to? So maybe in your soup you want chicken, rice, carrots, celery, cilantro, spices, okay? And then all of a sudden here comes, I don't know, cucumber, okay? Now, is cucumber going to serve that stew? No. So you say, okay, I love you and I pray for you. It's not serving my pot right now. I can't put this in my pot right now because I'm trying to do something important. Okay, so the stew is your birthright, right? It is. And I'd say collect or connect with people who you feel are your sacred council. Good morning, Michelle. How do we create a sacred council? There are people. It's by building trust with the people that you love, okay? Now, building trust means that you can be 100% authentic with the people around you and trust that if you tell them something in confidence, they keep it in confidence, right? That's what I call a sacred council. And the sacred council could be a culmination of people. It could be places. It could be spiritual guides. It could be, if you're praying, there's people who say the rosary. I used to say the rosary growing up with my grandma. And she was really, really into the Divine Mother. And so they had the Traveling Mary. She was part of the Legion of Mary. And she was a devout Christian. And she went to church all the time. And her sacred council was her church, was praying the rosary and asking for guidance from the Divine Mother. So again, your sacred council doesn't need to just be people. It can actually be entities. Now, when they talk about praising entities, it's not that we're bowing to these entities. We're asking them to just guide us, right? To be with us, to support us, okay? To be in our energy space. Okay, to support us, to be that ground, that foundation. So whoever that is for you, whatever that is for you, I have a ton of spiritual guides that I ask for divine support from. Okay, you can see I have the chakra system going on back here. And in that, there's different deities that may support different energy fields. So again, you guys, building your sacred council will support you through the process as you do the work, okay? My sacred council are people, and I'll tell you how I engage them, right? And how they engage me. Whenever I have something that's critical and I can't get to it, right? I can't understand. I go to a coach because I have a life coach. I'm a coach and I get life coaching. I practice, right? Practice. Go to my life coach. And then I look at my sacred council and say, where do I need that support? Okay, I've been talking about The Matrix. We've been talking about The Matrix, the movie, which I love. If you looked at Neo, I need to go rewatch these movies, you guys. If we looked at Neo had a sacred council. Okay, Morpheus, right, was one of his sacred councils. And in fact, Morpheus freed him, right, from the Matrix. He gave him the choice. He said, here's the pills, you choose. But in that, right, if you see that, Neo always went to Morpheus for information, right? Neo didn't say, oh, because I'm the one, I know everything. No, he went to the Oracle. He went to the Architect. He went to the, so you guys, we don't, like for me, I'm not like, oh, I have all the answers. I don't have the answers, you guys. Okay, I don't have the answers, but I know what I experience, and I'm able to express and articulate the experience that I'm having and take complete authentic ownership over my experience, okay? That's where you transcend. That's where you rise, okay? It's taking that personal responsibility for everything that shows up in your space. Now, when you can't understand how to get past something, okay? If there's an issue that comes and arises for you, and you're like, what is going on? Why can't I get past this? Why can't I? The patterns, right? We're stuck here in this dimension. We're stuck in these patterns, okay? We couldn't transcend patterns, but we have to recognize the pattern and understand the root of the pattern, okay? So once you get to the root, okay, you're able to then pull up the weed, okay? Now, in that, I go to different people for what I call, it's advice in a way, but it's also coaching, because some will give me information that I need. Some will ask me powerful questions that will direct me. Some will do spiritual alchemy readings for me. So there's different people. There's people who will give me compassion and kindness and let me just talk to them about it. Okay, so you guys, write out, here's what I want you to do for a practice today, okay? I want you to just write a list of all the people in your energy field that you feel add value to your life, okay? Now, and then on the other side, I want you to write a list of people that you feel drain your energy, okay? So just two sides. People that add value, people draining your energy, okay? That's your homework. And I don't want to say it's a homework. It's more like a practice, or it's an exercise that you can do to support you to kind of look at this thing, right, from objectively, and kind of say, and here's the deal. As you guys are doing this exercise, and if you feel like someone's draining your energy, but you feel like, oh, I don't feel like, I think that's wrong of me to say that, but that's how I feel. Just go with what you feel. Use your gut, okay, to write that down. Good morning, Nicole. Good morning, Daniel. I don't know if I said good morning, Carlos. Who else is on here? Betty. Did I say good morning to you guys? I don't remember. I'm just going off today. And so do those two columns, okay? So I want you guys to do that, okay? So we're at a very important place right now. For those of you who've been practicing and doing the homework, I highly, highly congratulate you. I think you should go celebrate yourself, because this work can't happen unless you practice, okay? And I'm gonna continue saying that. Good morning, Sayed. Because if you don't practice, it's meaningless, okay? It's just information. It has no, I mean, the value is, yeah, you know it, but do you know it? No, not until you practice it. Right? And then you get to adjust things. You can say, well, that doesn't work for me. Okay, that's not serving me, so I'm going to try this, right? And you assess your results. Okay, good. So that was a big, long talk about what I felt like I should talk about. But here's what the books say. Okay, we talked about the archons, or ancient earth rulers, the archons, demonic rulers. Okay, we mentioned these archons, okay? And the archons and the eons are energies. I'm not sure if they're actual beings or creatures, but I do know that they do, they hold the energy where it's at, and they keep us in these perpetuated cycles of fear. Okay, so we've got to, how do we get out of fear? Okay, how do we jump into our divine birthright? How do we transcend that energy field? Okay, that's being perpetuated over and over and over and keeping us in the matrix. Okay, there is a way out. Okay, so the archons are demonic rulers and are mentioned extensively in the Gnostic Gospels as one of the prime reasons for suffering on earth. They have been behind the scenes for millions of years, manipulating, orchestrating the movements, fears, emotions of collective consciousness in order to feed themselves and keep separation in place. Okay? I'm reading from this book, The Christ Blueprint, you guys. Okay? Separation. Here's where things get wonky on my Facebook, okay? Now, I don't know what it means that I'm reading this stuff, but I'm reading it. Do I believe it? I do. And as soon as I do, people get cut off from my Facebook. Or the first time I talked about the archons and the eons, people started to show up and slander and say foul stuff, right? And in that viewership, you guys viewing, I try to show you how this stuff is just, it is real, okay? And you're seeing it firsthand, okay? So just so you know that so it's saying that they are demonic rulers. And the demonic rulers, I don't know if it's just an energy field, an energy source, but there's a way out of it, and we all have it. And so we're trying to say, how do we get this out of ourselves, okay? So that we become whole within ourselves, whole, perfect, and complete, that we rise above the fear, that we speak authentically. This is the hardest one here, is the noose, right? My sister calls it the noose, and I think in the Bible they call it the noose, where our throat chakra gets shut off because we're afraid to speak our truth. We're afraid what people are going to think we're weird. Okay, people may think I'm weird, but you know what? Think I'm weird. That's your thought. That's okay. I'm okay with that. I think I'm weird sometimes, but that's okay. I love myself and I love them. Okay, so it's rising above that, loving them. So the archons are ancient, powerful demons that live at a high frequency of power between the 7th and 9th dimensions, inaccessible to most people who are not fully conscious of the galactic body of light. Several Gnostic Gospels and much of John Baptist Christ's work focused on dissolving many of these demons' hold on Earth and its people. However, many still are still left. Okay? Archons are attached to almost every human body of light, preventing the crown channel from being fully open. They form thick, black, oily blanket, 13,000 to 23,000 feet above the physical body in your light body, preventing light, love, and full empowerment from reaching your body-mind consciousness. When an archon is removed, major changes can happen in many areas of your life, particularly the loss of fear. Okay? Are you guys hearing this? Okay. Now, some people say this is woo-woo, this is crazy. What kind of talk is this? But here's the deal. Okay. If you're saying, okay, it's not, because they talk about demons and all that stuff, right? And I'm always like, yeah, okay, there's demons, whatever. Let's look at it from a practical standpoint, because I like to be practical so that it can support people. Now, maybe they are beings, right? Like these crazy beings that are here. Okay, that's possible. Okay, I haven't seen any. Well, later I'll tell you guys. But the demons that exist, right? We feel these energy fields of fear. Now, if you go to a place, what do they talk about? Haunted places and where things have happened, murder. You can feel the energy. Okay, you can feel it. You know, they say go with your gut, feel it internally. You feel it. You feel when you're in danger. You feel when you're in a place you're not supposed to. You can feel it. Okay, you can. Give yourself credit for that at least. Now, in that, okay, how do we use this in a practical application to rise above the archons of the earth? Okay, we've got to go through the fear. We've got to get through the murk. Again, we are the lotus flower. Okay, we're the lotus. We're going through the dirt, the murk, and the fear. So we've got to face the fear. If you don't face the fear, you're never going to get past the fear. Okay, so looking at those things that trigger you, here's the thing. If it pisses you off, it's probably because there's a fear there. Okay, so here's the thing. I'm going to just put this away. Okay. When, let's say you're a coachee, let's say you're being coached, and your coach tells you something and you get upset about it. That's the fear coming up. If it wasn't true, you wouldn't get upset. If it wasn't true, it wouldn't bother you. Okay, so I want you to sit with that for a minute. Now, if it is true, you're going to get triggered. And what I call triggered, it's like it's going to piss you off, okay? Now that's fear. If you lived in love and had no fear, okay, nothing would piss you off, right? You'd be happy and joyful all the time. But that's not the case. So when someone's triggering you, okay, this is an opportunity. These are what we called our golden gems. These are the opportunities to recognize the fear, recognize the archon, recognize how do we rise above that, okay, that story, that pattern. How do we get past it, through it, and then rise above it, okay? So the fear of if somebody came up to you and called you a-hole and you got upset, triggered by that, well, maybe you got to look at why you're getting upset. Because if you're not an a-hole, then who cares? Right? Someone's told me something, I'm like, oh, that's not me. That's okay. And then there's been times someone's told me something and I'm like, oh, and I want to defend myself. And I'm like, well, what am I defending? If I'm not that, if I don't believe that I'm that, why am I defending myself? Okay? So understand that, okay? So to rise above the archons. Now the archons, and I haven't done a whole lot of research on it, but I do understand that they say they're demons, they're, incubus and succubus, and there's all these different archetypal demons. We talked about all of the 7 deadly sins, like lust, greed, pride, all those things. Those are part of the story, okay? Those are part of it. And we've got to get past those, okay? And how do we do that? We go through it. We face it head on. We acknowledge that it exists, okay? Once you acknowledge that it exists, we can transcend and recognize that it's not real. It's false, okay? It's fake. It's designed to keep us in this density. It's designed to keep us here so we don't transcend into our birthright. Now, I will say this. You guys can say, well, that's whatever, because I don't know how people feel about this. But I'll ask you, are you doing what your divine birthright is? Do you know you have one? Number one. If you know you have a birthright, are you actually doing it? And if not, what are you doing? And if you're doing that other thing, what are you doing it for? Why? Out of fear, right? Of survival. Okay. So this stuff gets deeper and deeper, you guys, okay? Now, I've been looking into the Mandela effect, and I think it might exist. That was something that came up with people, and I think people were interested in understanding the Mandela effect. I will take a look at it. I will give you my perspective, good morning, Iris, on what I believe the Mandela effect may or may not be, okay? Based on my own perception. So you guys go out and do your own research, because the reality is, if you're not doing your own research, if you're not Alice down the rabbit hole, you're not practicing, okay? In order to transcend, we've got to practice, okay? So your practice for today, and I told you this, you're going to write all the people who are giving you energy, and you're going to just write all the people who are taking your energy, okay? And you're going to ask yourself this question. The people that are taking your energy, are they serving your higher purpose? Are they serving your birthright? And if the answer is no, ask yourself, what has you hanging on to them? What is the fear of letting go? Why are you letting go? What is the fear? Why are you allowing people to suck your energy? Okay? Look at that. Because that's a huge part, right? The archons will suck energy, right? They feed off the fear, like we talked about 9/11, right? We talked about how 9/11 perpetuated fear. But when we look at the statistics of people dying from plane crashes, it's this small compared to how many people die from smoking cigarettes. I'm in tobacco prevention. More people die from smoking cigarettes than homicide, suicide, heroin, alcoholism combined, put together. And I bet if you put people who died from plane wrecks in there, I bet still more people die from smoking cigarettes. Okay, so if you put it in that perspective, you start to understand they're programming you for fear. They program you. TV's called programming. It's there to program you. So if you want to transcend, then disconnect from the TV. Do not watch TV. I challenge you to not watch TV for a week. And read or listen to audiobooks or go out and explore and do some research on something that you thought you wanted to research about and disconnect from TV. See what happens, okay? I've had people ask me, how do you stay so happy? How this and that and the other? The reality is I don't watch TV at all. I don't need to watch TV. So I don't watch TV. Then how do I know that big catastrophe, what's happening? Because I can foresee what's about to happen. I've known that volcanoes were going to erupt for a long time. Prophecy, right? I can foresight because I'm clear. Why? Because I'm clear about what's happening internally in my own existence, as within, so without. Okay? So I hope this makes sense. Okay. So there we go. Try not to watch TV for a week. I challenge you. I don't know if is there any takers who says, yes, I agree to this challenge? Anybody out there? I challenge you. Come on. Connect with people instead. See what happens. Okay, well, that's my spiel for today, you guys, okay? The archons exist. They perpetuate fear. We can rise above fear. There's nothing to be afraid of, right? We are love. We are light, and you have a birthright, and you have a divine purpose. And I know several of you are on your journey to your divine purpose, and I acknowledge you, and I commend you, and namaste. Is YouTube worse? I don't know. I don't watch YouTube either. I have a YouTube channel, but I don't watch YouTube either. I really am sort of an interesting character, I guess. I sort of read, go to the gym, eat healthy. I engage in Facebook quite a bit. That is my, I will say my connection to technology. And I utilize Facebook. I will say this last thing. I utilize Facebook for the good. To enlighten, to bring people to the light, to support them through the process of coming to the light. And I decided that that's what I would use this platform for. And so that's what I do. Now, and then I'll go on and watch food videos too. That's what I do watch on YouTube, no, Facebook even, not even YouTube. I watch it on Facebook, food. Which can lead to gluttony, and there's a little of so I'm working through it, okay, you guys, but so there's that, okay? So you guys go out, realize that the archons are here, and there's a way to transcend, and you guys have the power within because you're powerful. So wake up. I'm going to say that every day. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. You're in a dream. Wake up, okay? Once you wake up, once you transcend, once you get over the fear, once you allow the archons to be pushed to the side, you will then be ascend, enlightened, and things will shift for you in this dimension. Things will shift for you, okay? Things will come easier, okay? You'll be like Harry Potter. I'm just going to say that. Because I'm not going to say, I mean, it's what we call true magic, right? And you have that power within you. You are that powerful, okay? So remember it. Remember, you have a birthright. You have a purpose. But you've got to wake up, okay? Wake up. Do the exercise. Do the practice I gave you, okay? And I guarantee if you guys practice, if you guys just continue to practice, things will shift in your life. Now, as things shift, okay, you're like, that crazy Natalie told me to do this, and now all this stuff is happening. Reach out to me, okay? Make sure you're anchoring yourself in, okay? I write novels. Oh, really? Wow, that's pretty cool, Mohammed. And your videos. You do videos that are awesome. Thank you for the videos. I loved the videos. Okay, wake up. Wake up. I'm going to say that every day now because I want you guys to wake up. Okay, please wake up. It's time. If you don't wake up, what's the worst that can happen? Well, you might just have to come back here. Do it all over again. I don't know. Okay, so salud. I got my coffee. And I just love you guys so much. And thank you guys for showing up. And if you guys have any questions, please reach out. And I'm just so proud of you and all the work you're doing. And showing up here tells me that you're committed to yourself. When you show up to my videos and you listen, you're committed to you, not to me. You're committed to you because you know that you are on your journey to finding your divine purpose. So I just congratulate you guys. I have so much love and compassion, and I'm so grateful that people are willing to take on their life, that people are willing to take on their own life, okay? Because that is what's needed right now, okay? So go out and create and be beautiful human beings in this world, okay? I love you guys. Love you, love you, love you. I just love you so big. I don't know how much more to describe or explain or express how much I love you guys. And I'm so proud of you guys. Okay? Hi. So when you show up, remember you're showing up for yourself, not for me. You're showing up for you. Okay? And I just don't even know how much, I can't express how much gratitude I have for that. The people that are showing up for themselves. Because you matter. Because you're worthy, because you are enough. And I'm going to say that over and over. And you know that you're enough, and you know that you matter, and that's why you show up here. Not to listen to me. You're here because you're like, I know I matter. I'm trying to find, that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to support you through the process of finding yourself, okay? So wake up. Okay? Awesome. Okay, so I love you guys. Have a fantastic, beautiful day. Tomorrow's Friday. Okay, love you. Bye.